Hello there, South Shores Church family. If you're anything like me, I'm constantly asking, what month is it? What day is it? What's going on? There are so many confusing things going on, and it seems like there are so many trials. I cannot even begin to imagine or fathom some of the things that each of you are carrying during this season. But what I have found is that in the Lord's word, we can be encouraged and strengthened for these seasons. He gives us everything that we need in the Bible. And specifically, as I've been spending my quiet times, I've been camping out in the book of James. And let me tell you, I cannot say enough good things about this book. Wisdom, encouragement, highly would recommend to read the book of James. But today I would love to encourage you with a verse in James 1. We're going to be reading in James 1, verse 2, which specifically tells us what to do when we experience trials. It tells us this: "Consider it a great joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you experience various trials, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing." Wow. Okay, so the first thing I notice here, friends, is that in verse 2, James tells us whenever you experience various trials. He doesn't say if you experience various trials, or maybe someday, potentially, you could experience trials. James tells us straight up that we are going to experience trials. As we live in an imperfect world, trials are inevitable. But the beautiful thing is that God doesn't leave us hanging. James then goes on to say that when we have faith, when we practice and work out faith, in the midst of all of these trials, we produce endurance, or that word could also be seen as patience. When I see the word endurance, it reminds me of a hobby that I actually picked up during quarantine, which is mountain biking. And when I first got started mountain biking, I would go up these hills, these big hills, sweating, breathing heavy, and thinking, there is no way that people enjoy this. And also, there's no way I'm ever gonna make it up these hills without stopping. This is out of control. I'm so tired. All the things. But as I practiced and trained and really worked at it, going up hills over and over again, I've quickly built up an endurance. In fact, I kind of even like going up hills sometimes, believe it or not. But it reminds me of this scripture that as we experience trials and continually put our trust in the Lord, practice routinely putting our faith in Him, even when things are hard, He builds up endurance so that when trials come, naturally, like second nature, our heart posture goes to Him. What a beautiful concept. And I love that he says, and let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. When we read the word lacking nothing, so often our brain goes to worldly things, lacking money, lacking jobs, lacking relational status. But I think what James actually means here is that we are spiritually mature, that we are lacking nothing because we recognize that all we need is Jesus. That's all that we need. Everything else doesn't matter. So when trials come our way, we can trust that as long as we have Jesus, and as long as we're putting our faith in Him, that we'll have everything that we need to succeed. I love that passage, and it's been so encouraging to me. I pray that it's encouraging to you, wherever you are sitting, whatever you are holding on to and carrying. I would encourage you to look back and see how the Lord has provided, to reflect on how can I build endurance in trusting the Lord? What are things that I can do in this season right now to practice building up faith? Because we can trust that when we have faith in the Lord, He's going to give us all that we need. I'm praying for you, South Shores, and I'm so expectant that the Lord is going to move as we put our faith and trust in Him. I hope to see you all soon.